Hello ARMY, buckle up. Because what happened recently is not just another celebrity moment, not another interview clip, not another casual update. No. This was a rupture, a moment so unexpected that it froze timelines, crashed live streams, and sent millions scrambling for answers. For months, fans begged for clarity. Whispers grew into rumors, rumors into theories, and theories into complete online chaos. And then, without warning, Jungkook finally spoke. One sentence. One breath. One moment. And the entire global conversation flipped on its head. But here's the twist. The sentence itself wasn't the biggest shock. What shook the entertainment world was Taehyung's reaction, subtle, emotional, and impossible to ignore. The day everything shifted. The day started normally. Speculation was the same as always, fans debating timelines, behaviors, expressions, the usual storm. But underneath it all, there was a tension, a silence that had been building for too long. Everyone felt it. Then Jungkook sat in front of the camera. No flashy background. No dramatic lighting. Just him, and the silence that had been following him for months. And when he finally spoke, time genuinely felt like it paused. The words were simple, almost too simple. But the weight behind them? You could feel it, even through a screen. It was as if he cracked open a sealed door, letting everything spill out at once. And at that exact moment, the camera turned. And Taehyung's expression changed. Not a breakdown. Not an over-the-top reaction. Just a tiny shift, but powerful enough to launch global analysis. His eyes tightened. His shoulders stiffened. He looked down for half a second, and that half second became the new center of the world. Why Taehyung's reaction hit so hard? These two grew up together. They've laughed together, cried together, succeeded together. Fans know their bond. It's always been there, unshakable, visible even in the smallest gestures. So when Jungkook broke his silence, people expected surprise, maybe pride, maybe support. But what they got was something deeper. More complex. More emotional. Taehyung didn't look confused. He didn't look annoyed. He looked like someone who just realized that everything had changed in a single sentence. Like someone who understood the weight of what was coming next. Some fans saw sadness. Some saw shock. Others saw a silent "I wasn't ready for this." And all of them might be right or wrong. Because the truth is, only the two of them know what really sits beneath that reaction. The aftermath, a worldwide explosion. Within minutes, hashtags took over global trending. Clips were slowed down frame by frame. Screenshots got circled, zoomed, cropped, brightened, darkened, anything to detect a hint of meaning. Every moment became evidence. Every blink became a theory. Every expression became a storyline. Jungkook's sentence was the spark. Taehyung's reaction became the fire. And suddenly, silence became louder than any statement. Analysts chimed in. Psychologists chimed in. Writers, journalists, industry veterans, everyone had something to say. Some believed Jungkook was setting up a huge new chapter in his career. Some claimed he was drawing a line, making a boundary. Others believed he was freeing himself from something he had carried for years. But the biggest question was always the same. Why did Taehyung react like that? Silence that speaks louder than words. In entertainment, silence is strategy. But this wasn't strategy. This was emotion, raw, unfiltered, and too honest to hide. Taehyung didn't speak afterward. He didn't explain anything. He didn't correct, deny, confirm, or clarify. And that's what made the world even more obsessed. For some, his silence looked like protection, for Jungkook, for himself, for their bond. For others, it looked like he was processing something much heavier than the public understood. Some saw it as support. Some saw it as conflict. Some saw it as the beginning of something big. But whatever it was, it felt real. Too real to be scripted. Too emotional to be a PR trick. Too intimate to be coincidence. Theories, reactions, and the growing storm. Fan communities broke into waves of analysis. Some longtime fans said they'd never seen such a raw moment between the two. Others argued that this was the closest the public had ever gotten to their real, private dynamic. Old clips resurfaced. Old interviews were reread. Old interactions took on new meaning. And through all of this, one thing became clear. Jungkook's words were only half the story. Taehyung's silence was the other half. And together, they created a narrative too powerful for anyone to ignore. Industry insiders whispered that the reaction looked too genuine to be rehearsed. Commentators said Taehyung's tension was the kind someone has when they want to speak, but know they can't yet. Others said it looked like he'd already known but wasn't emotionally ready to hear the words spoken aloud. And then came the moment that reignited the fire. Taehyung appears in public, and fans notice everything. A few days later, Taehyung attended an event. He smiled. He waved. He looked radiant as always. But fans saw through the mask. The smile didn't reach his eyes. The posture was a little too tight. The gaze was a little too distant. It was the smile of someone holding something inside, not someone who had already let it out. That appearance didn't calm the internet. It exploded it again. The question the whole world is asking now. If Jungkook has spoken, when will Taehyung speak? And even more chilling, does he even need to? Or did his face already say everything? Because sometimes, the loudest answer is a reaction you can't hide. Sometimes, silence is not avoidance, it's preparation. And right now, the world isn't waiting for Jungkook anymore. The world is waiting for Taehyung. Waiting for the moment he decides to open that same door Jungkook just unlocked. Waiting for the chapter only he can write. Waiting for a voice that has stayed quiet for reasons only he understands. One sentence changed everything. What Jungkook said wasn't long. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't overflowing with details. But it was powerful enough to shake the core of someone who knows him best. It was enough to shift a friendship, a dynamic, a narrative years in the making. It was enough to make Taehyung bow his head, take a breath, and reveal more emotion in one tiny movement than any statement could. And now? The world watches, breathless. Because this story isn't over. This isn't the final chapter. This is the beginning of something bigger, something deeper, something that will shape everything that comes next. Jungkook has spoken. Taehyung has reacted. Now we wait for the moment Taehyung decides to respond. And when he does, the world will stop again.